Welcome to the Seat 77 Sports Desk. As always, I'm Dave Dabbah, coming to you live and on tape from the super plush, lavish studios of Seat 77 here in the heart of the Silicon Valley. Oh my gosh, Producer Buck, have we got a huge show for everyone today. Producer Buck does want me to remind you that we are now blowing up North America. We are now available on iTunes as well as TuneIn Radio, so make sure you subscribe to any of those channels. We want to see you there, North America. Okay, so today's big show. We've got Kam Chancellor ending his holdout. ESPN has decided to remove gambling alerts from its NCAA football games. Touchdown Johnny Football has been benched for no particular reason. Big Ben is named AFC Offensive Player of the Week, and a Texas high school football coach admits to calling a hit on a high school referee. But this afternoon, we begin the big broadcast off with Kam Chancellor returning to the Seattle low-flying Seahawks. And so the question is the Legion of Doom back? Look, for me, Kam Chancellor is as good as J.J. Watt. In fact, he might even be better than J.J. Watt. Now, of course, he plays a different position, but you just watch how good the Seahawks play over the next 4 to 6 weeks. So I guess Kam finally realized, after he gave away a ton of cash, that the Seattle Seahawks weren't going to budge at all. As it turns out, Kam has 3 years left on his contract. I actually am really impressed by the Seahawks. I don't know what you think, Producer Buck. He's nodding his head. I'm really impressed by the Seahawks for actually sticking to their guns on this one. Okay, but it gets better. I've got a quote from Kam Chancellor. Because whenever you can get quotes, from players, you should get them. And here we go. This is Kam Chancellor's quote. I am going to help my teammates that are understanding of my position and the ones who aren't. God forgives all. Why can't I? Time to help us get back to the big dance. I can address business after the season. Me and Marshawn Lynch started a mission 2 years ago. I can't let my dog down. Real talk. Okay, so then leave it to Ed Werder from ESPN to get involved with the quote of the day, the longest quote of the day. Here we go. We are whole again on defense, said an unnamed Seahawks player. Way to go, Ed Werder. You're providing a lot of extra coverage to this story. Okay, so Producer Buck, I got to tell you this quick story from last night. So I got the kids to bed. I did the 40-minute walk with the dog, fed the cats, made sure the hamster had his wheel and was running. Our hamster Spidey likes to play running man every night for a couple hours, so he was out running. Anyway, so I get into bed, and my wife says to me, she goes, "We need to talk." And she's all serious. She's got like this super serious look on her face. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Because it's always bad whenever your spouse says we need to talk. She goes, I can't tell you. I'm just going to text it to you. Grab your phone. So there I am. I've got my phone. I'm like, oh my God, what is this? And she sends me a picture of a pregnancy stick, a positive pregnancy stick. And I look at it, and I fall to my knees. I fall off the bed, and then I look at it again, and it says "too fat" on it. So my wife, with a little practical joke, I lost 60 seconds of breath as I was doing. I know, right? This is mean, just brilliant though. All at the same time. Okay, so elsewhere around the world of sports today, we have ESPN removing gambling alerts from their NCAA football game. So if you didn't know, at the start of the season, ESPN would put up cover alerts for the football teams that were playing in the games that they were broadcasting. And so, you'd know whether or not your team was covering or not. Now, of course, ESPN has been owned by the good folks over at Walt Disney for quite some time now. And I guess somebody at Disney saw this and had ESPN pull the gambling alerts. So no more gambling alerts on your NCAA broadcast. So a couple quick notes for everybody here. First of all, DraftKings, FanDuel, and the other companies that haven't launched yet, that all do kind of fantasy football, but it's really just gambling. It's really just gambling. Just legalize it all already. Anyway, so apparently a couple months back, this is actually about a year ago, ESPN had a chance to actually make a major investment in DraftKings. In fact, they were ready. They had the money. They were bidding against Fox to make a big investment in DraftKings. And what happens? The guys over at Disney got wind and said, no way. You are not investing in a gambling organization. And of course, Fox, being the edgy network that it is, the people that have brought us the Family Guy and like 40 years of The Simpsons, made a strategic investment in DraftKings, which was brilliant on their part. So whether or not you think DraftKings is gambling or soft gambling or not gambling at all doesn't really matter. It's just gambling. Let's just be honest for a second. It's gambling. But that's okay. Anyways, apparently the NCAA is about to implement a policy which states any of the college football players who use FanDuel or DraftKings will be suspended from their football team and their eligibility will be revoked. Hey, look, that's great, ESPN or NCAA. If you guys want to go ahead and do that, that's fine. But who the heck are you going to have left to play football games? Like all of Producer Buck, like all of the players are playing these fantasy football things. And you can't even play college football anyways. It's all pro stuff. So the NCAA working on yet another ridiculous rule. I'm starting to think that the NCAA is actually owned by Disney. Elsewhere around the world of sports, Johnny Football gets benched in favor of the Josh McCown quarterback guy. Look, this is the most ridiculous move the Browns have made. Johnny Football finally figures some things out. He looks good in a Browns uniform, those new Browns uniforms, so they can sell some more shirts. He looks good. He played good enough to continue to be the starting quarterback of that hopeless franchise. But Mike Pitton is a terrible head coach. He's caving under the pressure that he's going to get fired, and he didn't start, and he isn't going to start Johnny Football. It's an outrage. An outrage, I'm telling you. They should start Johnny Football or trade him to New Orleans already. Okay, speaking of outrages, the Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger was named AFC Offensive Player of the Week for his performance in last weekend's win over the 49ers. He completed 21 of 27 passes for 369 yards and 3 touchdowns, compiling a passer rating of 155.8 as the Steelers dominated the team formerly known as the 49ers. Now look, I have to tell you, he played the 49ers. Tom Brady. Okay, let's just take a sec. Okay, Producer Bug, I'm going to relax. Tom Brady passed for 466 yards. He nearly passed for 500 yards and didn't win the AFC Offensive Player of the Week award. Look, this is like Offensive Player Gate. How could they not give it to Tom Brady? Hey, do we all agree? I think we do, right? We all agree that the Buffalo Bills have a real defense and the 49ers don't. It is a terrible, it's an outrage. I tell you, it's an outrage. Okay, speaking of outrages, in our final story of the night, Texas high school football coach reportedly admits his players to hit a referee. It was a hit on a referee, basically. John Jay High School assistant coach Mac Breed reportedly admitted to the school principal and head coach that he directed members of the team to attack an official during a game on September 4th. Oh my gosh. So I saw the footage. I'm sure you all have had a chance to see the footage. It was just terrible. So there's been all sorts of stuff that went on. I've got yet another quote for you. So I later met with Coach Breed at John Jay High School. In my office was the presence of Coach Gutierrez, who's the head coach. Harris wrote the following letter. Coach Breed told me that he directed the students to make the referee pay for his racial comments and calls. Look, you can make some racist comments, but you can't make any bad calls. He wanted to take full responsibility for his actions. Mr. Breed, at one point during our conversation, stated that he should have handled the referee himself. Do you think, Mr. Breed, you should have handled the referee himself? I mean, really, what has happened to Common Core? Has Common Core not found its way to football coaches at high schools? It's an outrage, I tell you. Okay, so big show for everybody tomorrow. Producer Buck wants me to remind everybody, tune in radio, subscribe to the Big Seat 77 channel. We got to get out of here. Lots going on. The Seat 77 app should be up shortly for the Seat 77 Sports Desk and the invisible producer Buck. I'm Dave Dabbah, reminding you that not all news is real. It's true. Some of it is fake. And good luck, North America.